So I did mention in my last video to get sponges that we're going to need sponges for the trident farm. Well, I found an even better farm that doesn't require sponges. However, because I said, we'll need some sponges, there is another thing you can do where a sponge might come in handy. If you can find some ruins, as you can see here, you can just build yourself a little place. I can hear them already. There's some drown coming. Probably going to hit me soon. There he is. Because these underwater ruins are another place where they spawn a lot. So let's put a couple signs here, and then you can put a roof on top. Doesn't have to be anything too exciting, something like that. And then you can come inside and see. Now this is where maybe you can use a sponge. Just put a sponge down, and as you can see, you're in air now. Now you don't really want to light this up because it'll kind of prevent them from spawning. So once evening falls, because this is fairly shallow here. I guess it's not crazy shallow, but they tend to spawn much more at night. This little house can give you a chance to attack a lot of drown that are coming around. And as night falls, you'll see they'll start coming. This is still not as good though as a river biome, but I just thought I would share something you could do with your sponge. Although you can do this in the river biome as well. The thing about the ocean is it's such a large area that they could spawn pretty much anywhere. And if you create even some kind of a farm in the ocean, because they can spawn so far away, they may not even be close enough to seek out your egg or your villager or whatever you're trying to get them to come to. A river biome provides a much better area because they don't have as much room to spawn in. So they're much more compact. So that being said, let's get out of the ocean and head back to our river biome. So what you want to do for this trident farm is look for a river. And I've got lots around here, so I'm kind of lucky that way. You want it to be fairly deep though. And this one was my first choice, but as I explored, it went further and further down, and it has all these caverns under here. You don't want to have to mess with all that garbage. So, let me get out of here. So, luckily, well, not luckily, create your own. You know, when life gives you lemons, make lemonade, right? So, right over here, we need a 15 by 15 area. So if you don't have it naturally, make it. And that's what I did right here. You can see kind of down there, I lit up one corner so it's not completely black down there. But basically, I dug out a 15 by 15 area to make this. So let's go down. Oh, and we already have some spawns here. But we don't want you yet. So this little area, as you can see, as I was digging down, I just created this little two-step area where I could step in and get some oxygen while I needed it, while I dug out this 15 by 15. One thing I want to draw your attention to is this block right here. And where are we? Like 48? Unfortunately, the light I have down here is giving light. But at 48, it is light level 0. Okay? So what I'm trying to show here is everything under this square, and it happens to be 8 blocks, everything under the square is light level 0. So things can spawn in here. Now, the reason we put glass on the floor, and I'm walking on level 40, just so you're aware here, and I am in a river. You're going to need a river. And this is why I have this, to give myself some oxygen. So you have to be in a river biome. So my thought was, if you can create some of these trident farms way up in the sky with huge rivers, you can do the same under. So that's why I dug this out. And the glass is on level 39. So I'm on level 40 walking on top. And what this glass does is it at least helps prevent squids and stuff like that from spawning as much. So it'll hopefully focus on the drowned, which is exactly what you want in here. All right, so once you get down to level, I guess you'll need level 39 to clear out. It's a 15 by 15, so you'll need about 3.5 stacks of glass. Fill in level 39 with all glass, so you're walking on level 40, as you can see there. Okay? And then once you're this far, you want to center on a wall. Now I'm going to center on this wall, and you can kind of see the little stack I made up here. It wasn't only to take a peek down below, but it's also to tell me which wall I want to use. Why am I using this wall? Mostly just because it's closer to land. And you can dig down, fairly close to land. I could have started here, and then all this would have been part of the 15 by 15. But to be honest, it doesn't really matter that much. And the one other thing you're going to have to pay attention to, when I was digging this out, and I noticed in this corner as I was digging down, I heard skeletons, I heard zombies. Well, that means there's a cave down here somewhere. And you do not want caves in the area because, well, things can spawn there instead of where you want them to. So I had to go through here and dig down, and I found the cave and I completely lit it up. And since I've lit it up, I have literally gone to each corner and in the middle and just stood here listening. And there's nothing. And that's what you want. And that is one of the big reasons I didn't want to dig in the naturally occurring one that I first showed you, because there's so many caverns and everything going on over there. I just didn't want to deal with it. So this is a lot easier. And I looked around the top, and there were no obvious caves or anything around. So that's what made this area perfect. And then the only other thing you have to do, like I said, is if you hear zombies or something, track them down while you're digging and make sure there are no caves. So now that we have this done, let's focus on our next step. And you're going to need a turtle egg for this build. So look for some turtles, and you're going to need some shears, get some grass, and once you have some seagrass, You can lure the turtles. Look at them go. And then feed them. There you go. And maybe here, get you two. Two more here. You and you. There we go. And then you guys should... I tried to clear it. They were in the worst place here. So I tried to clear some space for them. It kind of looks like they're already doing their thing. And there's some eggs already. There's a bunch of eggs. So now we just need Silk Touch. Pickaxe here. And oops, of course I'm going to need some space. There we go. And I think I'm just going to grab maybe an extra. Oops, did I just step on it by mistake? I think I did. Okay, so what do we got? 3, let's go 4. And why don't I leave you guys? I'll leave you guys an egg. How's that? Okay, let's take a look at what we are going to need. You're probably going to need 10 or 11 stacks of glass. That's including the base that you already saw. I'm using glass for the entire pipe going up because I like to see the drown shoot up the pipe. But you don't need to. You can use regular stone or whatever if you like. But I like to see them, so I'm using glass. You're going to need 2 walls, 1 soul sand, 1 turtle egg, and we went over how to get one of those mighty quick. And you need 5 trapdoors. They can be of any kind. 1 slab, and again, that can be of any kind. 2 chests, 1 hopper. You're going to need a water bucket and about 3 stacks of kelp in order to make the water elevator all the way up where we're going to. And I just put some cobble here because you may, if you're in a natural environment and you don't dig out the 15 by 15 like I did, you're going to need a bunch of this in order to fill up all the nooks and crevices that might be there. Not to mention, you might need lanterns. What else could you use? Shroom lights, glowstones, all that kind of stuff you might need if you're doing a natural area to lighten up the other water areas so that nothing spawns in those spots. So let's get started. Okay, so the next thing you want to do is on the wall that you chose, pick the center. Okay, so there should be like 7 blocks that way and 7 blocks that way, and you're in the middle. What you want to do here is place down your turtle egg right there. You can see it creates its own little air pocket, and then I'm going to place some glass all the way around like that. You want to put 2 temporary blocks above the egg like that, so that, and then you fill it in just like I did. So yeah, maybe I did a little backwards there, but oh, let's go get some oxygen. Okay, and then you want to take the glass and go 2 deep, just like this. You want to put 2 of your trapdoors there and there. If it didn't take the water out, take your bucket and see if you can remove the water like that. And then once these front 2 are empty, And this is the bummer about working underwater in survival. But once these two trapdoor areas have air, you want to break the two temporary blocks behind. So you should have 3 blocks with air. The egg creates its own air, and then 2 blocks above it with air, because that's what you need. You need 2 blocks above with air in order to attract the drown, and these like that. Okay, so the next thing you want to do is put a wall here and a wall there. Grab 2 more trapdoors, and you want to put them right up top, just like that. And then grab some more glass. And just put one on top of each of the trapdoors. And then I guess if I want my glass back, I better use a silk touch. So right here is where we are going to put our soul sand. And that is going to create a water, or not a water elevator, but it's going to create the bubbles that go all the way up to the surface. It's like that. Then let's grab some more glass. And you're basically going to create the chute right here, all the way up. Now this one we can get rid of, as we don't need it. It was just to kind of get things started there. This block we left open, so make sure you put this block in front so it's just 2 high in front and not 3 high, and that will pull them in here. Okay, so make sure this block is here, and then when they go in here, they'll shoot right up. And that's how it's going to work. So how high do you want to go? Basically, take the measurement from this level, which in our case is 40, and you want to add 120 blocks. So we want to be at 160 when we're done. So that's a lot of glass, or a lot of blocks. Again, depends what you want to use. When you're in the water, it's almost like creative. You're flying in the air, building. But it's just up, just like this. And you just keep going. Oh, and we're out. So replenish. Am I going to make it before I need air? Yep. And there we go. So we made it. We made it all the way to the surface. So I just want to check something. Let's go all the way down. And since we're done here, I don't think we need these torches anymore. So as you can tell, it's still quite light. And that's what I was checking, because when you have glass all the way to the surface, the sun will come straight down all the way and light everything up. And you certainly do not want that happening. So the very easy way to prevent that is just take these ones right here that are on the surface, take those away and replace them with solid blocks, just like that. And now you can continue with the glass. And if you look down here, now it's all dark again. Okay, so you don't want that light coming all the way down or it's going to prevent things from spawning. So make sure you use solid blocks right at surface level. All right, and now we just have to build all the way up. In my case, maybe in your case, to 160. And we'll just be going all the way up. And I'll see you at the top. All right, so here we are at 160. Can see our town over there. Gives you quite a look around. So we can see our farm down here, so we want to build out in this direction. But for now, let's just build around here. And I'm going to use glass here just because it will allow me to see the drowned as they fly up the chute. Okay, and basically make it 5 wide. And then you can come up this way. I guess 8 in total from the hole. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 3 more. So now we want to take the glass and we're going to build a little further because we want them to come up and drop down for us. And they can't really do that if it's even. But we don't need it to go too high up. Let's go 4 just for the sake of being on the safe side. Okay, and then we just want to build out this way. Whoops, not that way. Build out this way. Doesn't really have to be long. That's good enough. All right, so now that we have it, 3 blocks, which is plenty, right at the end, we're going to put down our, make sure I've got it right here, chest. It should be falling right here, yep. And this is where we want to put our hopper going into the chest. And we want to put our slab on top of the hopper. And then we want to bring the glass down like that. Okay, so put the trapdoor right there and flap it down just like that. And we're gonna have to, of course, bring it down the front here, just like that, so you can hit them from here. Silk touch and get that back. And we can't forget, of course, to build it here. Now here, I would recommend a couple of stone blocks, just because this is where you're going to be hitting them. And glass, if you're not careful, might break on you. So I would recommend that. We are going to want to go back up, just like that. Now you're going to want all of these too high. Just like that. And then you're going to want to put a roof on it. But before we do that, or before we complete it, let's say it that way, we're going to want to put a temporary block in the hole here. And this is where we want to put our water source right there. Okay, So it'll flow right to the edge, but it won't. The water won't flow down, but they will. They'll drop. And then as far as the temporary block, we want to take that out. And as you can see, the water is now flowing all the way to the bottom as well. And we are going to have to excuse ourselves from here. So let's get that one out. And then finish this. There we go. And that keeps them inside. Everything's closed in now. We can just drop down here. Get rid of any extra blocks that we placed. All right, so to be honest, maybe I shouldn't have closed it up quite yet because we're going to have to go back down and put all of this kelp in all the way to the top. So let's go. Woohoo! All right. Oh. No, not ready for you yet. Not ready for you yet. Oh, another one. All right. So now we have to put the kelp in. So let's be quick before more of the drowned come in. Okay, so we're going to plant this all the way up. I'll see you at the top. Okay, and here we are at the top. So just gotta hit ourselves out of here again. Now the beautiful thing about the kelp is we can just break it at the very bottom and everything will be just flying right up. All right, so here we go. This is where we are pretty much done now. So when they come up, we'll hit them here. They'll go into our chest. Now, if you'd like, you could either put a ladder going up the side, or if you have an elytra like myself, you can fly up here. Or you can build a water elevator off to the side here. Just make a donut and then put the water in and it'll flow right down and you can take that up here. Whatever is easiest for you. So let's go back down and get rid of this. Oh, here's another one. Okay, let's get rid of this first. There we go. All right. And there go the bubbles all the way up. And now we are completely done. So we're here during the day at the moment, which is the perfect time because nothing will spawn out here, only in the dark down there. So I think just so I don't have to fly up every time, although it's not a big deal, of course, I think I might make a water elevator because you know how much I like my water elevators. Oh, I forgot to fill my bucket. Great. All right, I think I'm going to make the water elevator right here. So let's crouch. And I'm just going to do that. And that's all there is to it. And then we just need to put a bucket of water here, which I forgot to fill. And we're going to put the water bucket right there. And that's going to be our water elevator to get back up. And there's our water elevator from the bottom We can just look out the side, and this way it's not taking our air. It's a nice way up. If you don't have elytra, you're not using all kinds of wood to make ladders. I think this is just the easiest way to go. And then up we are, just like that. All right, so as a test, I've been sitting here killing these guys for about 15-20 minutes now. And this is what I've gotten. Lots of rotten flesh, bunch of copper, one nautilus shell, and I did get a trident. I've only had 2 guys come up with tridents so far, but one of them actually dropped it, so very happy about that. There's another one. Got another copper ingot out of that one, I think. Oh. But you can kind of see the rates we're getting here. Oh, there goes another one. Do you have a trident? No, it doesn't look like it. I did expand this a little bit. Well, I am quite happy. I did get my trident, but I'd like 2 of them because, as you know, there's 2 different ways to enchant a trident, and I'd like 1 of each. So we'll have to continue here. And thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this little trident farm, and I'll be seeing you again real soon. Don't forget to subscribe. Bye for now. Yeah, he had to go.